Yeah, today I'm here with Paula Williams, and I just wanted to have a quick conversation about the problems with appraisals. Right now, a lot of homes are, going under contract, and when the appraisal comes back, it is coming back at a lower price in which the contract is set for. So, we just wanted to talk a little bit about that just to give people an idea of what to do if that does happen. So, from a lending standpoint, what happens when the appraisal comes back and it is less than the value of what they are selling it for?
Well, there's two things we can do. Often I can get a reprice on the appraisal by looking up more comps in the area. I have something called the home value estimator that will look up 3 to 10 recently sold comps in the area. And sometimes the appraisals will have small mistakes on them. Just last week, I was able to get an extra 15,000 by sending that appraisal back in, having them look at it, re-look at it, and we were able to bump it up just a little bit to really help close that appraisal gap. So when there's a difference between the selling price and where the appraisal comes in, we call that the appraisal gap. And the second scenario when you get an appraisal gap is the buyer has to be prepared to make up the difference in that gap. So, I look up the home estimated value, and I can get within usually pretty close, within a couple $1,000s of what the home should appraise for. When the selling price is 5 to 10,000 over that, we will tell that borrower there is a possibility you are going to have to make up that $5,000 to $10,000 difference. You need to have that ready in your savings account. The other thing that a lot of the realtors are doing is their purchase contracts will have a appraisal gap paragraph that says the seller will accept an appraisal gap of higher or lower than, and the selling price will stay the same, or they'll half the gap by so many thousands of dollars to help make up that difference. Basically, split the difference with the buyer in that appraisal gap. So those are all things to be considering with homes still being slightly overvalued in the market.
So you're talking about an appraisal gap. If we have an appraisal gap and the person doesn't have all of the money in their bank account to cover the appraisal gap, is there any assistance that can be given to help close, or does the contract just fall apart?
Assistance can be given in multiple ways. Another way is to get a lender's credit by raising the interest rate. So if you're willing to raise the interest rate, we can lower the closing costs, basically give you $3,000 or $4,000 towards that closing cost, and that will help make up the difference in that appraisal gap too. That's one of the methods. That's a little tough right now simply because interest rates are on the rise. So something that one can't do is have a high cost loan that costs more than the law allows. So although we can help make up the difference with the higher interest rate and a lender's credit, again, sellers can help make up that difference if they want to sell that house and they know that it is overpriced. A seller knows that no matter who comes to the table, their appraisal, it just is what it is once it's been approved and then potentially repriced. So just a couple of different ways, things to think about. And it is always best to know that there is a possibility of an appraisal gap, and get that home value estimator out to you as well. I can, and you can see if your buyer is going to be able to manage the weight of an appraisal gap or can handle the possibility of an appraisal gap.
Well, if I was sitting at home watching this video right now and I had questions that I wanted to ask you, how would I be able to contact you so you could answer those questions for me?
Yes, you can call me at 980-285-2821. I'm Paula, Rosegate Mortgage. You can also email me, paula@rosegatemortgage.com. So either one of those ways would work.
Well, thank you, Paula, for giving us that great information today. And I look forward to speaking with you again.